Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Simon and today I'm back with a video that I did for the first time last month and lots of you said you really enjoyed and would like to see more of, and so it's back. It is me looking back at the last month of reading, not every single book that I read, that's a wrap up that'll be coming soon for February, but just kind of like how I've been getting on with my reading, anything that I've spotted that I need to change or anything like that, just basically having a reading catch up really, and then talking about what I'm planning for the next month. So what prompts I have for March, any events I'm going to be doing that I need to read for over the coming weeks. It's also my 40th birthday month. There's lots of prize stuff going on, including I'm now judging another prize, but more of all of that later. Before any of that, I wanted to wish you all a very, very happy World Book Day, for that is what it is as I record this. And it'll be what day it is when this video goes up. But yeah, any reason to celebrate books, you know me, I'm gonna, but I love seeing all of my friends' kids dressed up as their favourite characters, and I'm kind of like, why did I not get to do that so much as a kid? I don't remember doing that as a kid, but then I am heading to being very old. But also I've got changed out of it, but I've been wearing all day a Burglar Bill outfit for any Zooms and stuff that I have, and I have a couple more to come, which actually leads me to the fact that also today is me and Chris's 4th wedding anniversary, and I can tell you that after I have my final meeting of the day, which is with Sky, which is very exciting, I am going to be, well, Chris is going to be driving a mystery route to, he doesn't know this yet, and by the time this goes live we'll be there, so it'll be fine, but we're off to an old hall sort of manor house and spa for 24 hours, which is going to be really, really, really exciting. I got it as much for me as I did him. I'm that generous with myself and others. Anyway, so just mention that, but that does link into kind of looking back at February, because one thing that I didn't do much of in February was my weekly reading vlogs, which I really, really, really wanted to do, but for various reasons, as we'll discuss in a little bit, I did not get around to. But what I did do is catch some lovely moments from February that I thought I would insert here so that you've got a little catch up. It's just for a minute or so with some lovely twinkly music. Over to that, and then we'll get down into how my reading was, what was going on in February, and what I've got coming up in March. Very excited for that view in the morning. Very excited to sleep in that bed in the not too long. And then, well actually I think I'm gonna have a bath first in. It's a proper roll top one. And the walls kept tumbling down in the city that we love. Millie? Oh dear, did you get shut out? Oh. Why are you crying, Chris? Why are you crying? Overwhelmed you with a, oh, Sea View Hotel Suite from 1980. Look who I'm with. It's Ollie, who's sort of left YouTube, which we don't like to speak of, but I've come to see his exhibition called
Softlands.
And where is it?
It's in Worcester.
And then where's it going?
Shrewsbury in June.
Which me and my mother may attend.
Be lovely to see everyone there.
Yes, very exciting, and I feel very proud that my mate's done all of this.
Yeah.
Well, she loves being filmed, Catherine, doesn't she? She just started laughing, it's brilliant.
Am I allowed to say, Simon, that you were one of the first people to really embrace the little life, and you're tireless to the point of being a pest advocacy really helped launch it. I mean that in the nicest way possible. Every author needs someone like that. Really helped launch it in the UK, and I'm so grateful.
So there we go. How lovely. And actually it was really good to have that footage, because I won't lie, February was a really, really, really tricky month for me. I had probably one of my worst mental health blips that I've had for a while, and I was kind of semi not surprised by it, but also completely surprised by it, because I went into 2022 with so much like, right, boundaries, and I know what I'm going to do more, and I know how I'm going to sort. But I sort of got so busy so quick. My own fault, because I said yes to some brilliant things, and I'm not moaning about the fact that I get to do lots and lots of brilliant things, but sometimes you do sort of, I say yes too often, and then I've been this fluster of, oh my god, I've got all this stuff to do and I don't quite know what to do and I can't quite work it out, and on top of a day job there's the freelance and all these kind of things, which again, very lucky to be in that position. Although I don't like the term lucky, I've worked bloody hard to get where I am, but or not to get where I am, because I don't think I'm like in an uber position. I'm overthinking this, which is part of what happened in February, which is that I had this big, massive panic attack. And I think it was to do with overwhelm. I think it's the fact that I was getting cross with myself that I hadn't got my own balance sorted, like bang on the end of January. And I was a bit annoyed about that. Well, I was really annoyed with myself about that, and just felt, and even though it was an intention, I still got annoyed about it. So yeah, that was what happened. It was the first one, because I've had a few since, but they've not been as bad. The first one I don't remember. Chris said I went upstairs to go and have a shower and get ready because we were going for a lovely day out. And then he could hear me muttering to myself after I'd had a shower. And then he thought he could hear me crying, but he wasn't sure. And then I came down just in floods, back in my pyjamas, did not want to go out. And he was really good. He sat and talked to me about it for ages and then said, no, come on, we're going to go and do lovely things. And slowly I came back out of it. But I have had a couple of blips since, but I'm getting there, and it's not something that I want to go on about overly, but I also want to be honest with you all and say, like, that's what happened, and that's why there were less videos and no vlogs, but I did get to get some lovely footage, and I do think that's important for even during like ropey, wobbly, rough times, there is still happy times within it. And I am feeling much, much better, because I think actually sometimes you can have that real low moment and it can become a real positive, because you can only build up from it. But the only way I can describe it, it was like my head was whizzing through, like falling down a well, and I couldn't grab onto anything that I thought was happy or colourful. It was just grey and bleh. But yeah, things are better now. So yeah, anyway, I don't want to go on about that too much because it's private stuff, but at the same time, I don't want to pretend it didn't happen, because I think it's good to say that sometimes things can be a bit ropey, but you can get out of it. So with that in mind, how was my reading? Read lots of short books, read quite a bit, read one new absolute favourite book, which I'm going to do a whole video on, but it wasn't the whole month was really stopping and starting, because I was trying to do a couple of theme vlogs. I was trying to do one where Wordle picked what I was reading, and I got some bloody dud words. I had like ultra and what was the other one? Ulcer. And I was like, come on guys. Although actually ultra did bring me one of my favourite reads of the month. And I got cynic, where I was like, oh, I picked up a book by an author that I'm not really a big fan of in terms of their writing or their personality. And I was like, is this the right thing to put out onto the internet? I'm not sure. So all of that is gone, but I will be talking about them all in my wrap up. So you may get a tiny little bit of me spilling tea in that video. But I didn't do all of my prompts, and instead of doing what I'd done the month before where I added an extra one, I don't want prompts to become punishments. I want prompts to be me going through my bookshelves, getting excited about all the books I have, not buying new books for prompts, I'm not doing that, and then sort of getting through more books. That was the idea behind it, but not to the point where I'm like, oh, I don't want to pull out another prompt from the jar. Like, to feel that way 2 months in, it's not ideal. So if I don't do them, I'm just going to add them to the next TBR, as it were. And if it rolls on and rolls on, that's fine. I don't feel like, because I was going to say I failed at reading prompts, but I don't think you should ever feel a failure when you're reading. So yeah, so the books that I didn't get to that are going to go onto my TBR are Mexican Gothic by Silvia Marina Garcia. I also had an idea to read the 4 books of hers that I have in order, because I know she's a really diverse author, but then I was like, oh, am I going to find that a bit tedious, and then that won't be fun to read? So that was another reading vlog that didn't happen. I didn't get around to The Party by Elizabeth Day, which was an extra prompt because I hadn't read Cantorus the month before, and I haven't read either of them yet, so I'm going to hopefully get to those. But like I said, I don't want to see it as like, oh, I pulled a prompt out, so therefore this book was a punishment. It's not like that. I don't want prompts to be like that, and this it won't feel like a punishment anyway. It'll be reading a fab book because I've heard great things about it, but I don't want that feeling. Other things I noticed in February in terms of reading, I need to get better at carving out time to read, because when my head's all over the place, actually it's the one thing that really grounds me, and it can sort of just make me pause more, and it makes my brain feel less scatty when everything's going on. So yeah, and I had 2 really, really long delayed journeys that were meant to be 4 hours on the train and ended up being 8. And I just didn't really read anything. And then I got really cross with myself about not reading. I need to not get cross when I don't read, but also remind myself that reading does that. Does that make sense? Am I making sense? Have I gone off on too many tangents already? I don't know. I still have not read any non-fiction in 2022. I really, really want to address that. And yeah, that does mean that some books, when I do my next sorting out the shelves, are going to have to go. But that, again, it's not a punishment, that, because although it does sound like a punishment, let's all move on from that, because I'll overanalyse, because one of the big things that I'm doing still after February is overthinking. But yeah, so those 3 books, they are going to be books that I try and get to in March, if the mood takes me, and if they're going to April, that's fine too. I am umming and ahhing prompt-wise if I'm going to carry on with Kayla's prompts. And what I like about actually Kayla's prompts is that I'm not going to not carry on. I'm going to carry on with them, but I might not do them to the month, because there's really 12 to do throughout the year. And I guess if you're wanting to do me and my mum's prompts, I'd feel the same. If like you're just having a off-kilter month, or if you're just feeling a bit, oh, I don't want to read, or getting a big book funk, or having some mental health stuff going on, whatever, it's not compulsory, it's meant to be fun, and I'm sure Kayla would feel the same. So there's that. I can't talk about some of the books though that I'm going to be reading in March. I need to work out how I get around this with the vlog, because very excitingly, first of all, is the fact that the Women's Prize long list will be out next week. I've done my predictions video. I'll link that down below if you've missed it. I do now know the list, and I will be talking about that next Tuesday when it comes out. I think it comes out at 9:30 in the morning, so I'll probably do a very early video that day. And if Mum is well enough, we're going to try and film something together, but bless her, she's got this really, really horrible chest infection thing, and yeah, she's just having a rough old time. So if you don't see her on her channel for a little while, that's why. Anyway, I shouldn't really be showing that, that's her news, not my news, but I think she'll be alright with me saying that. Anyway, so yeah, we're hoping to do a video on it, but also I am judging a prize myself this month, because I'm going to be judging the British Book Awards, which is the booksellers' book awards. I think they've been called the Nibbies before. I don't know if they still are. Well, no, they're called the British Book Awards, and I'm judging the debut category, which has a pre-selected shortlist of 6 books, which will be announced on the 18th of March, and I'm already reading the ones that I hadn't already read in advance of that, because we've got a meeting on the 21st of March to decide the winner for that category. So that's really, really exciting. And yeah, I said I wasn't going to do prizes this year. I am. I'm going with the flow, he says, saying that he took on too much earlier in the year. But let's not judge each other, and let's not judge ourselves. There's enough going on in the world right now. And actually, that is one thing I do want to mention. I've had quite a few messages about why I'm not talking about that. And I am not an expert on the situation. I have donated to the Ukraine. I'm also hopefully going to be doing another notebook project with Woodle Books, where some of the proceeds, or my proceeds, will go to the Ukraine funding for charities. So that's coming. So I'm trying to do my own little bit. I have bought myself a fuck Putin bookmark, which I'll link down below, because if you want to support that, all the proceeds that are going, and yeah, I donated to the Red Cross. If you want to do that, you can. But I do think it's one of those things that Lena did something quite important about it. Like, some influencers shouldn't be talking about big world things, but also sometimes we need to be creating, this is me adding this in, that's not what Lena said, but we need to be creating content that if people want to escape, they can, because I know I want to escape, because sometimes it makes me anxious, and I'm already struggling with that as it is post old mini meltdown in February. Anyway, let's all move on from that. But suffice to say, there's a project coming that will be supporting Ukrainian charities that I'm working on with Woodle Books, and there's that bookmark down below, because every penny helps, and a bookmark doesn't cost much, but it could really, really help. So there we go. Right, on to my prompts for this month and other possible things, because obviously, as I said, I'll be reading the Women's Prize long list. I'll be reading the shortlist for the debut British Book Awards, which will be announced on the 18th. The Women's Prize is announced on the 8th, but I'm going to get cracking with that quite soon. And possibly actually pack one of them, because what I filmed today won't go live until not next Sunday, the Sunday after. One thing that I do want to say actually as well, that I learned in February, is I've got to stop promising a video is going to turn up on a certain day, because life can get in the way, things can change. Like, for example, I said I was going to do my Women's Prize predictions video for ages, and sorry about the cloudiness on that. I don't know what's going on. I must have thumbed my iPhone camera or something. Anyway, I say it's soft focused and it was all a bit like that. But what was I saying? Yeah, so I'm planning my next video being the one that was going to be today, which is me and the wonderful Kate from Harris and Harris Books. She's recommending me 5 books in her bookshop. I don't have a title. I want this to be a new series, so if any of you have got suggestions for a title for that, please let me know in the comments down below. Right, onto my prompts and what my sort of rough TBR will be on top of those. So, out of the prompt jar, where I get I got my Patreons to choose titles out of my paperbacks and also my imported books, because they're the shelves that I get through less. If you see my sorting out the shelves book, that will make more sense. I'll link that down below. But I got The Mothers, which was chosen for me by Hannah M. Robbins, and it is by Brit Bennett, and it's here. I absolutely loved Brit Bennett's second novel, which I can now see, and the title has completely gone out of my mind. I literally wanted to say The Mothers then, and now, I'm having this really badly at the moment, where I keep forgetting what books are called. Maybe it'll be in this one, even though this one came out first. No, it's not in this one. Oh my goodness, is it in this one? No. Oh no. Anyway, I'll be reading this month. Why can't I think it's one of my favourite books? I can see it. It's pink and it's turquoise, and it's called... Oh my goodness, my mind's gone completely blank. This is also a weird side effect of Durkheim's, the condition I have. I'm starting to get moments where my mind goes blank and I can't remember words, which is a bit weird. Anyway, so there's that one. It's really bothering me. The Vanishing Half. The Vanishing Half have vanished from my brain. Anyway, then from the pot where I got you to say what countries you would like to visit, and I will head there through fiction, Argentina was picked, which was suggested by both Suze Prime and Authentic Me. So I'm going to be, for that prompt, reading The Dangers of Smoking in Bed by Mariana Enriquez, which is short stories that were up for the Man Book International, which is announced, I think, next week as well, and I'd kind of like to get more into that one. So yeah, but I've been wanting to read this for ages. The American edition I love, so if I love this, when I, fingers crossed, go to New York later this month, I'm going to pick it up if I really enjoy it. So we have that one. Then my one word prompt, which I got you to suggest in a video way back last year, not way back, towards the end of last year. It was Saucy by the Minx, that is Miss Vix Reads, and I put this to a vote on my Patreon. My Patreon's always linked below, and every month I'm choosing 4 books that could match that one word prompt, and then the one that gets the overall vote wins. And it was this one, Just by Looking at Him by Ryan O'Connell, which is I think quite a few people gravitated towards, because when I read the blurb I said penis a lot, and I don't think I'd said the word once on my channel before, and then proceeded to say it about 10 times. Ryan wrote the Netflix show Special, which I really loved, and this sounds like it's going to be quite saucy and a bit filthy, but also quite thought-provoking. So thank you to my patrons for picking that one. And last but not least from the prompts is my mum's prompt, because me and my mum giving each other prompts every month, and the prompt that I pulled out of the pot, wow, that's a tongue twister, was with a creepy title. It's right there. And it's I Love You, But I've Chosen Darkness by Claire Vaye Watkins that I've picked. I just think that's such a gothic, dark title that I think that's perfect. So quite sinister. So it might not be a sinister book, but the title is indeed. So I'm looking forward to heading to this, because I know that CJ Reads really loved it. So we have that one. And then in terms of events, I am not doing many events this month. I'm only doing one, and that's because I'm away, hopefully, for most of the month, well, half of the month for my birthday. Have I mentioned that I'm 40 in March and it's my birthday coming soon? And actually, I should say, quite a few asked if I have a birthday wish list, and I do. it's linked down below, but no worry if you're not interested, and if you want to support me through Patreon or whatever, feel free. But the event I am doing is with the wonderful Patrick Gale, and this is Mother's Boy, this is the proof, and we'll be doing an event in Stockton-on-Tees on the 14th of March, so I need to get cracking. So I was thinking, not that I'm going to force myself to do themed reading vlogs necessarily over the coming weeks, but the Mother's Boy, there could be something like a word association, maybe, we'll see. Reading vlog, we'll see. But yeah, but other than that, the only other real bookish plans are that if I do go to New York, and the reason I'm saying it's tentative is we haven't booked it yet. I've squirreled some money away to treat myself and go, but I'm just worried because in the UK all the restrictions have gone, and worried that suddenly other places are going to be like, oh no, you can't come here, mate. So I have also been looking at random last minute trips to just lie by a pool somewhere hot and read, although I'm planning on doing that in Italy more in April. So anyway, blah, blah, blah. But if I go to New York, I want to go wild on getting lots of imported books that I either love the covers of and I have the UK edition, or just that I can't get here yet and would like to. But I only put... going back to my wish list, I only put books that I can't get in the UK in the bookshops on there, because I think that's the nicest way to do it, because people want to do nice things, and I want to make sure that it's not affecting the book industry here in a negative way, even though I know it slightly is, but you know what I mean. Anyway, blah, 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 blah. Stop overthinking and over-talking, Simon. You're with friends. So that is how I was feeling about February and what was happening in February, and what my plans are for March. Let me know what your reading plans are for this month. How was your February? How did that go reading wise? And any other ways that you'd like to see this video tweaked or changed, or whether you'd like stats or anything like that, please let me know in the comments down below. As you can, the title for that, booksellers in bookshops recommending me books, lots of books, but it is, as we mentioned, World Book Day. So yeah, I need to go and secretly pack, because I think Chris is back. Oh, that's a rhyme. But I will speak to you all soon. Bye.